Hello. So when I was a kid, I went to the public library and I went to the kids section and I checked out every single book on weather and natural disasters that I could find. You know why? One, because I was homeschooled. Two, because I was fascinated with weather. But more importantly, the core of this fascination, the reason I checked out every single book I could find and devoured them all quickly and memorized all of the facts from cover to cover, is that I was deeply afraid. Fact number 2, I have a song coming out on May 15th called Calm Before the Storm, which uses storm imagery to communicate anxiety. Those 2 facts tell you a lot about me, don't they? Anyway, I was thinking about that, and I was thinking about things I could do for this pre-save page video series, and I thought, what if I go to the library, and I go to the kids section, and I check out every single book on weather and natural disasters I can find, and we take a trip through memory lane in honor of Calm Before the Storm, and look at some of these books that I read back then. And I am pretty sure that these are the same books. Like, these all look familiar to me, and it is the library I've been going to since I was a kid, and they all look pretty old. So I think these are the books. Of course, we've got eyewitness books, The Goat, Eyewitness. I did get some on volcanoes and earthquakes. Those count as natural disasters, right? I was scared of them too as kids, so I remember checking this out. Love eyewitness books. They should make these for adults. I guess adults can technically read these. Am I the only one who had, like, a fear-based obsessive phase about Mount Vesuvius specifically? Or Krakatoa? That's a deep cut. Eyewitness book number 2. I promise I'm not hurting the books. Eyewitness book number 2, we have just weather, a classic. Hi, cat's here. You know, meteorology is very interesting, whether or not you're terrified. I remember being super fascinated with the different types of clouds. I remember checking these books out and taking them with me to my brother's baseball practice and spending the whole time, like, on a picnic table, staring at the cirrus and cumulus clouds in the sky and being like, I know what those are, and I know what they do. When the sky breaks, how could you not be scared of that as a kid? I'm still scared of that. That's terrifying. The phrasing alone is frightening. It says, the worst weather in the world. Come on, I was valid. I did have an especial fear of tornadoes. And I was born and raised here in California. Ozzy, we hear ya. I was born and raised in California where we don't have tornadoes. I took great comfort in that fact as a child. I have since found out that that's not entirely true. We can have them. That's happened just this year. They had one in, like, Bakersfield or something. Terrifying. We should not have those. I have to pay California prices to live here. I should not have to have any chance of tornadoes. And no, I don't want to go to Tornado Alley. Tsunamis. That's another one I was kind of afraid of. Honestly, not as much for some reason. Something about tornadoes just had me in a terror grip. But I do remember this book. That smell. That is the smell of weather books from the kids section of the Temecula Public Library. There's nothing else like it in the world. And of course, Twisters! Exclamation mark. This book has definitely been through some things. Maybe a twister. It's possible. This one is fully illustrated so that you could fully visualize the sheer terror. Creaks a little. And of course, one more tornado book for good measure, because like I said, they had a grip on me, and that grip was not positive. Again, with the full illustrations for the kiddos, so they can visualize. I was valid. I had valid fears as a child. Anyway, Calm Before the Storm, obviously, is not exactly about literal fear and literal weather, although obviously it can be interpreted that way if that's your anxiety that calm before the storm makes you think of. But I thought it would be fun to go back to my roots, some of my original fears, and maybe why storms and fears as imagery laid dormant in my brain until I wrote Calm Before the Storm. And don't forget to pre-save now that you're here. May 15th!